The cast of Friends finally gave fans what they'd been asking for years when they reunited for Friends, the Reunion Special, which began streaming on HBO Max on May 27th. Lisa Kudrow, Jennifer Aniston, Matt LeBlanc, David Schwimmer, Courtney Cox, and Matthew Perry all seemed pretty happy to be back together as they celebrated the iconic sitcom. But the latter is being accused of making things a little uneasy. Reviews for Friends, the Reunion, have been very positive. However, not everyone is so peachy on all the backstories. One journalist claimed Matthew Perry's past made things a little uncomfortable. Variety's Caroline Framke noted, "The show didn't discuss any of his troubled experience explicitly, but it nonetheless lingers around the margins with palpable unease." Perry did very briefly touch on his struggles, admitting he felt he would, quote, "die if they didn't laugh at his scenes," which wasn't healthy. Perry has been open about his experience with substance abuse over the years. In 2002, he admitted to people he'd, quote, "been through a very dark time," which included a hospitalization and 2 visits to rehab. He confirmed there was a time in his life, since shooting to fame, that he'd taken an insane number of pills and would drink probably a quart of vodka a day. But it wasn't just his troubled past that viewers touched on. Framke also noted there was a point in the show where Perry said he didn't hear from his castmates anymore, which didn't seem like a joke, and plenty of fans agreed. One person tweeted, "I wanted to hear more from Matthew Perry. It was really sad to hear him say how he felt when scenes would not work out. It took a big hit at him. This should be spoken about more." Another added, "When Matthew Perry said, 'I don't hear from anyone,' that felt real." Other than the awkwardness over Perry's maybe joke about not hearing from anyone during the Friends reunion special, it seems there might be another reason why he didn't seem like himself that day, and why his slurred speech sparked lots of concern online. According to The Sun's sources, the actor had undergone emergency dental surgery before filming the reunion, and he was reportedly in a lot of pain. The insider told the outlet that was said to impact his well-being and also how he was feeling. He had been in pain from what we understand, which caused the slurred speech. The source added, "Obviously no one wants to film after a procedure, but it happened." Perry also reportedly told Friends that he is sober and, quote, "there is no need to worry." Unfortunately, that hasn't stopped fans from expressing their concern online, with many pointing out that the star also didn't look well during his interview with People and Entertainment Tonight. During his sit-down with ET, Perry's demeanor seems a lot more lively than he was at the reunion. However, half his mouth seems like it's been clearly affected by something. Regardless, the show's director gave fans some peace of mind. Friends executive producer and director Kevin Bright discussed Perry's health with The Hollywood Reporter, explaining that the actor seems better than the last time they saw each other, and was excited about going forward. He said, "I talked to him. It was great seeing him again. And what people say is what people say. I don't have anything to say about that, except it was great to see him. And I think he's very funny on the show. But yes, I think he's okay." Though he didn't elaborate any further, his comments seem to reflect reports suggesting the actor is still recovering from his 2018 gastrointestinal surgery. In October 2020, his stepfather Keith Morrison, who has been married to Perry's mother Suzanne for nearly 40 years, told People that the operation took a big toll on Perry, especially because he was left bedridden in a hospital for 3 months during his recovery. Morrison explained at the time, "We were able to be with him a lot of the time through that, which was, I think, good for everybody. It's awful when people have a serious illness and have to have operations and worry about whether or not they're going to make it through." According to Healthline, gastrointestinal perforation, GP, occurs when a hole forms all the way through the stomach, large bowel, or small intestine. Page 6 reported the condition can develop due to drug and alcohol abuse, something Perry has been open about in the past. If you or anyone you know is struggling with addiction issues, help is available. Visit the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration website or contact SAMHSA's National Helpline at 1-800-662-HELP 4357.